can a highly capable, academically and intellectually gifted student fail to succeed in school? How serious is the issue, and are there implications for the student that extend beyond the frustrations of a teacher? What can teachers do to motivate high achieving students? How can we get them to care? Males outnumber females approximately 2 or 3 to 1 as underachievers identified in a gifted and talented program. Experts estimate that 15 to 40% of gifted students are not living up to their potential or are at risk of failing in school. While no single cause is easily discerned, speculative causes of underachievement have been associated with various issues in the transition from elementary school to middle school. Students may find the middle school curriculum boring, or the middle school curriculum may present a challenge for a student who has failed to develop good study habits that incorporate self-regulatory skills. A student may also simply lack the effort and the perseverance required for academic success in middle school. Gifted students are students who typically score in the 95th to the 97th percentile. Assisting students develop their individual talents is the goal of gifted education, but it is not an individual education plan. Service delivery of the gifted program to students in most middle schools focuses on differentiation in the classroom, a task that falls on the regular education teacher. AIG coordinating teachers participate in co-teaching, pull-out and push-in activities, and provide support and resources for the regular teacher with limited one-on-one instruction for identified students. It is not uncommon for a middle school AIG coordinator to be responsible for up to 300 to 400 students. A big question exists. Do students experience underachievement based on factors we can control, or are students actively participating in selective achievement? Underachievement is defined as a discrepancy between ability and expected performance on a standardized test that measures achievement. Many factors may cause underachievement. Another cause that has been identified is called selective achievement. Selective achievement is visible if a student feels a need to be in control or prefers a challenge with complexity and choice. The student may actually be exercising his or her autonomy in their failure to meet academic goals. Our focus will be on underachievement and not on selective achievement. Commonalities seen in underachievers are many. Underachievement typically begins in middle school and is prevalent in grades 7 through 9, with most underachievers represented in 7th grade. Lupert and Pright found that in attitudes towards school becoming increasingly negative in middle school is seen in a decline in students in 7th grade. One misconception about underachievement is that students can still be labeled as underachievers while still meeting grade level expectations. Characteristics typically common in underachievers include societal isolation, hyperactivity, and perfectionism. Rubenstein points out not only do consequences of underachievement have societal effects, but underachievement may also hamper the individual's life pursuit and self-actualization. Carbo and Hodges point out that underachievers are usually global right brain learners in an academic world that is analytic and left brain dominant. Price, Dunn, and Griggs concluded in their study that underachievers are also almost exclusively tactile kinesthetic learners. Underachievement poses additional threats for gifted students and an increased risk of dropping out of high school. If academic performance is one of the strongest predictors of a student's decision to drop out of school, waiting until high school to identify an underachiever is a recipe for disaster. Interventions must start in middle school to truly be effective. How can you motivate underachieving students? Because of limited success in reversing underachievement behaviors, we must try something new, something innovative to inspire our students and reverse the trend that threatens the brightest students we teach. 3 innovative approaches can make a difference. Each is based on a customized individual approach. A functional behavior analysis, FBA, is an individualized intervention plan. It involves several steps. In step 1, teachers and parents verify the seriousness of the problem. Step 2 is to establish a team focused on defining problem behaviors that are observable and measurable. Step 3 involves the collection of information about the specific behavior. Step 4 is where the team hypothesizes and verifies the function of the behavior using a function behavior matrix. Once these steps have been completed, it's time to develop an intervention plan that is individual. Fidelity in the implementation and effectiveness of the plan should be evaluated with easy questions to guide the evaluation. Those questions may include: who'll do what? How long will the intervention be in place? What steps will take place next if the plan is successful? How long will data be needed? The last step in the process is modification. Modification should take place prior and during intervention processes and be responsive to the needs of the individual student. The achievement orientation model by Siegel and McCouch suggests that self-perceptions in 3 areas regulate a student's motivation and subsequent academic success. According to the model, if one of the 3 components is low, regardless of the strength of the others, motivation is ultimately affected. The 3 components include self-efficacy, task meaningfulness, and perceptions of the environment. Self-efficacy, first coined by Bandura, is the student's belief that they have the skills necessary to complete a particular task. Does the student believe in his or herself? Task meaningfulness is the buy-in of the student. Does the student view the schoolwork as meaningful and valuable to them? Perceptions about the environment include the perceived level of support and extends to interactions with peers, parents, and even teachers. Does the student feel they are supported by those that they depend on for support? The final approach to reversing underachievement involves the implementation of independent, authentic explorations. Students should be given the opportunity to participate in an interesting, independent, authentic project with control over their independent learning. Rubenstein and others also suggest that this strategy works best with teachers outside of the regular classroom, possibly through an expansion of the AIG coordinator teacher's role in gifted education. So how do you get started? How do you make a difference and work to inspire underachieving gifted students at the middle school level? An individualized approach, not a group approach, offered through differentiation is the key for students. The first step is to identify students who are underachieving. Get started and implement a strategy and intervention. If the strategies and interventions are not working, try something else. Consider the school environment and what steps can be done to address which items may be of concern. Look for opportunities to accelerate, differentiate the curriculum, offer authentic project-based learning activities, and even implement teacher and peer mentoring. Doing nothing should not be the option. We have a responsibility to the best and the brightest to seek out and implement strategies that help them to become successful. Underachievement of gifted students in middle school is a call to action as educators seek to make students career and college ready.